أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome. Today we're going to dive into the very beginning of the Qur'an's longest chapter, Surah al-Baqarah. And our guide for this journey is a beautiful compilation by Mir Ali Shah from the Living the Wisdom of the Qur'an podcast. We're going to explore how these first few verses are so much more than just an introduction. They're really a key that can unlock how we understand divine guidance itself. And this quote really gets right to the heart of it. It kicks off with a pretty radical idea. The Qur'an doesn't try to win you over. It's not trying to persuade anyone who's skeptical. Instead, it suggests that whether or not we receive guidance depends entirely on the condition of our own hearts. You see, the book itself is a constant. It's we who are the variable. We're the ones who have to learn how to become receptive.
So the chapter opens with these three letters, Aleph, Lam, Mim. These are what are known as the disconnected letters, and they appear at the start of several chapters in the Qur'an. Their ultimate meaning? Well, that's known only to God. And their presence right at the beginning immediately invites us into a state of humility, of awe, before the divine word.
And right after these letters, we get this incredibly profound opening statement that immediately shifts the focus away from the text and onto the reader. It begins, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book. In it is no doubt. Let's just listen to the full passage. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ أُولَئِكَ عَلَى هُدًى مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So what does all that mean? Here's the translation. This is the book. There is no doubt in it. It is guidance for those who are mindful of God, who believe in the unseen, keep up the prayer, and give out of what we have provided for them, who believe in what has been sent down to you and what was sent before you, and are certain of the hereafter. These are on true guidance from their Lord. These are the ones who will prosper. Now, did you catch that? The guidance is specifically for those who are mindful of God. And that right there, that's the key we'll be unlocking today. So right out of the gate, we're hit with this crucial point. This is not just a book of information. It's a conditional guidance. In a way, it's as if the book first diagnoses the spiritual state of the reader before it offers its cure. So let's explore what that really means. This is where the Qur'an just completely flips our usual thinking on its head. Normally, if we find something confusing, we assume the fault is in the text, right? But the Qur'an says very clearly there is no doubt in it. The great scholar al-Ṭabarī explained this so well. He said this means any doubt we might feel doesn't come from the book. It comes from the state of our own heart. Okay, so how did the classical scholars unpack this? This brings us to what's known as the ẓāhir, or the outer, more accessible meaning. They asked a really fascinating question. If the book itself is perfect and without doubt, then who exactly is its guidance for? And what they came to was this powerful consensus. You have Al-Rāzī, who points out that guidance isn't just about getting information. It's tawfiq, a kind of divine grace that enables you to act. Then there's al-Qurṭubī, who notes how the order of the words is so important. Taqwa, or God consciousness, comes first because our moral compass has to be pointing in the right direction before we can truly understand. It all leads to this brilliant conclusion. The Qur'an doesn't necessarily guide the most intelligent people, but the most spiritually prepared. Now, let's go even deeper. Beyond that outer scholarly meaning, there's the batin, the inner mystical interpretation of the Sufi masters. For them, these verses weren't just a statement of fact, they were a spiritual map. And this quote from al-Qushayrī just captures the Sufi view perfectly. The Qur'an is like a limitless ocean. Think about it. How much water you can draw from it depends completely on the vessel you bring. How big is your cup? How clean is it? For the Sufis, these opening verses are describing that very vessel, the prepared heart. And this is how they mapped out that path of preparation. First, believe in the unseen. That's all about surrendering our ego's need to have intellectual control over everything. Second, keep up the prayer. This is the practical daily discipline of making space for the divine in our lives. And third, give from what we've been provided. This is so crucial. It's about releasing our attachment to material things. Because a heart that hoards, well, it just can't hear. Now, what is just so fascinating is that this ancient spiritual truth, that our inner state shapes what we can receive, isn't just some isolated idea. It actually resonates in some really unexpected places, from the symbolic world of numbers all the way to modern neuroscience. It suggests there's a universal principle at work here. So let's explore one of these echoes. There's an ancient system called abjad numerology, where each Arabic letter is given a numerical value. Now, this isn't about predicting the future or anything like that. It's more of a symbolic lens, a way to uncover deeper layers of meaning. So, what might this system tell us about the book? Okay, so if we take the letters that make up the Arabic words al-Kitab, which means the book, you can see here that each one has a value. We lay them all out, we sum them all up, and we land on the number 454. Now here's the cool part. In this kind of symbolism, you can reduce numbers to their essence. So you take 454. 4 plus 5 plus 4 is 13. And 1 plus 3 is 4. And symbolically, the number 4 has always represented stability, structure, solid foundations, like the four corners of a house. It's a beautiful symbolic parallel. The guidance of the Quran is meant to be this firm moral architecture that brings stability to our life. And amazingly, modern neuroscience actually seems to confirm this ancient wisdom. It's like our brains are literally wired for this. Studies now show that our perception isn't some neutral, objective thing. It's heavily shaped by our prior beliefs and our orientation. The meaning we find in things is filtered through our gut feelings, our moral intuitions, and real certainty, it doesn't come from cold, detached analysis. It grows from trust and engagement. Without that readiness, clarity can actually feel threatening instead of illuminating. So after exploring all of this, the outer meaning, the inner meaning, even the echoes in science, the source material brings us right back to the only place that truly matters, our own hearts. It's time to turn the question inward. And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. The challenge these verses pose to us isn't an intellectual puzzle. It's a spiritual invitation. The question isn't, is this book true? The real question the book asks of us is your heart open? Do we show up with a list of demands and conditions, or do we come with a quiet, surrendered readiness to just listen?
And so we'll close with this beautiful supplication, this munajat from the source material. It's a prayer to quiet the ego and to allow the heart to become that receptive vessel that this guidance is looking for. O speaker beyond sound, still the noise within us. Let your book reach us before we demand to understand. Amin.